So obviously the most controversial was Tony Blair, who received the Order of the Garter. And I would just like to point out, because when I made a comment about this on Twitter, people were like, it's nothing to do with the Queen. This is the Cabinet Office who do these awards. Yes, it is the Cabinet Office that does the awards, but not this one. This one, the Order of the Garter, is a royal appointment. The Queen gave her permission for Tony Blair to be awarded. Ian, what do you reckon?
Totally right. It's not just any old knighthood. This is the full-blown Marks and Spencer's job, with Groove Armada playing At the River in the background. And yeah, I mean, it was like a red rag to a bull. I mean, I'm sitting on New Year's morning, and I'm put the telly on, and I'm watching. I'm thinking, he's what? Tony Blair's got a knighthood, and that was bad enough. And then it was the Order of the Garter thing, and I didn't really quite know how deep that was until I got into it a little bit. I thought, you're having a laugh, and it's totally inconceivable. You know, the man is responsible for just he's responsible for almost a nuclear explosion that's still going on to this day, from his inception in 1997 when he was first voted in. And in Scotland, of course, it has a bit of significance in 1997, because that's whenever they were elected in on the back of promising to create the devolved institutions in Scotland. What then happened from it is we've got into the Iraq War situation. We've dragged in, I mean, the whole thing is a complete, absolute disgraceful mess. And the fact that Her Majesty the Queen, for goodness sake, has sat down and thought this is a brilliant idea, or somebody's thought it's a good idea and given it to her, and she's like, oh, that's just, you know, that's another cream tea, please, and off we go. They must know, surely, that there was going to be a huge public objection to this, because these people don't do anything without having a plan. They don't just say, oh, it's a good idea. Let's get Tony in because he's such a nice chap. He's not such a nice chap. He's a lying, murdering scumbag. He really is.
He's absolute filth. Absolute filth.
You know, we've had people tried, like Milosevic, for all his nonsense and all his war crimes and everything else, and this man, he's at the top table, and what a slap in the face for people who have got these honours genuinely and done something to deserve them. You know, there's a little boy that's walking around in a frame, and he's been awarded some awards. It's not a knighthood, obviously, but you know, a little lad that's like about 8 or 9. He's got muscular dystrophy and God knows what else, and he's doing his little bit and he's raising money. We've had Captain Tom, who is absolutely brilliant. You know, he's 30 odd million pounds that he raised on his Zimmer frame, for God's sake, walking up and down, doing that little bit because of what he believes in. Not necessarily everybody's going to agree with what he believes in, but he does it, and he did that, and he deserved, you know, in the context of what we're talking about, he deserved his award. And then we have Tony Blair. And you know, where do you go with it, Sonia? Where do you go with it?
Well, it isn't up yours, isn't it? Because as you say, they wouldn't have done this without some sort of risk assessment or actually looking at the details, which is why David Beckham still hasn't got his Sir because of his messy tax affairs. So they do look at it in detail. Although, again, obviously they didn't care about that for people like Jimmy Savile, who they would 100% have known about. But that's another story for another time.